Hey, you guys. I want to talk about something real quick because I keep getting this question a lot and I'm feeling a little like a broken record. So I want to just address it like in a video and hopefully reach more people and help those who keep struggling with this. So the question is basically like, why does it hurt so much? And why is the separation so hard? Why is it even happening? I did talk about this in my most recent collective reading as well, but to try and explain this a little better. So the separations are completely like needed. I'm trying to think of the words that I said, but there are advisors and readers who say that the separations are manifested basically. So they're saying that because you're focused on lack and focused on your twin not being with you and stuff like that, you're actually creating separation more. And they say that as soon as you can, surrender and vibrate at a higher frequency level and not focus on fears and worries and just focus on love and unity, then you will magically come together. I have actually seen the words by certain people that I'm not going to say who they are. They are very popular twin flame guides though. I have seen the words, your twin will come running to you as soon as you stop focusing on these things. And that could not be more wrong. Sorry, but it's wrong. Because I know for a fact that it's wrong from my own journey and from others. Like there are situations in life where that's just not possible. Like when so many twins are dealing with karmic situations, because the fact is that twin flames are a significant soul contract, and spirit and your own souls only care about your sacred marriage, and your sacred marriage is to your twin flame. But many people are in 3D, third party, and karmic relationships and marriages with children involved. And so this twin flame journey is the process of dismantling all of those beliefs and templates and structures set in us by society and religion concerning all of that. So, sorry, I thought I was going to stop. So that's not something that happens overnight, first of all. Like, it's a process for anybody to come to that understanding within themselves. It's a process of realizing that, first of all, you're not with the person who you are meant to spend your life with, who makes your soul happy, who brings so much joy and meaning to your life that you didn't even know was possible, and that you love with this deep intensity and unconditional feeling that like you can't live without them. You don't realize that until you meet that person. You don't even realize it exists until you meet that person. So many people marry other people thinking that they love them, that this is the one. And it's not until later on that they realize that while it was a good love, that it wasn't the one. And also, many of them are toxic relationships, and it's codependency, and it's abuse and other things as well. So there are several reasons why people end up with the wrong people. But especially when it's the case where it's not like it was a bad relationship or a toxic or abusive one. When it was a good relationship, possibly even a soulmate relationship, not necessarily, but possibly, like, it's a process of realizing that you're meant to be with someone else, and it's okay to go after that. Because we are taught to feel so guilty about choosing to end these commitments and choosing to be with someone else. You get labeled as cheaters and there's not really another name, but just like giving up and divorcing. Like divorcing is bad in the church. But I can tell you that spirit, God, and your own souls do not want you or your twin flames to be stuck in relationships they are not meant to be in. You have a higher purpose, and that is with this other person. But my point there is that it doesn't happen overnight, coming to that understanding and making those changes, because you have to let go of deep ingrained beliefs from childhood, and that takes time, and it can be really scary, especially when you're breaking up marriages that involve children. It's one thing if there's nobody else involved, but honestly, even then, ego issues can get in the way for a period of time. But especially when there's children involved or other complicated family situations, like, it's not something that is easily or quickly done. Honestly, even when you have years invested, it's a process. And that's why I was saying my point first was about the people who say your twin will come running to you as soon as you vibrate higher. No, as soon as you vibrate higher, even if it helps your twin by you energetically leading them and providing a foundation of balanced energy for them to function from, they still have to go through the process. Like, you think that your twin is just going to run out, like literally like run from the house, leave the wife and the kids in the house and just run to you and stay and leave the situation like that? That doesn't make sense. The situation has to be dismantled as well. The beliefs have to be dismantled first so that they can consciously make the decision. And then the situation has to be dismantled. And then they have to go through the process of separation and divorce and custody. And the universe and spirit is going to help them to do this in the best way for everybody involved, particularly for the kids. Now, that being said, I'm not even sure how to finish that sentence. It doesn't mean that the karmic partners are going to get an ending that makes them happy. But understand that those people, those karmic partners and third parties, they have their own journey. And that journey does include this breakup. So they are meant to learn their own lessons from this breakup. And it is meant to help them proceed down the path meant for them to their person and to fulfill their life purpose. So even if, whether it's rocky, whether it's easy, whatever it is, how that breakup comes about is meant to happen a certain way for the karmic partners as well. But as I was saying, that all has to be processed and dismantled too. So no, your twin is not going to come running to you the second that you shift how you think. Okay? That I can tell you for sure. But I kind of veered off from the original question as well, which was about why is it so painful? And it's so painful, like that does go back to what I was talking about, how it takes time to change how they think and how you think, and to change your belief structure. That is why it's painful, because the only way those things change is to experience that level of pain, okay? Because if left to their own devices, someone who thinks that they have to do the right thing, they made the commitment, there's kids involved, whatever, they have to feel that pain of separation from their twin flame in order to break down those society and religious structures inside them and restructure them in the way that they're spiritually meant to be. Okay, does that make sense? But I kind of veered off from the original question as well, which was about why is it so painful? And it's so painful, like that does go back to what I was talking about, how it takes time to change how they think and how you think, and to change your belief structure. That is why it's painful, because the only way those things change is to experience that level of pain, okay? Because if left to their own devices, someone who thinks that they have to do the right thing, they made the commitment, there's kids involved, whatever, they have to feel that pain of separation from their twin flame in order to break down those society and religious structures inside them and restructure them in the way that they're spiritually meant to be. Okay, does that make sense? So that was like the divine masculine's perspective. For the divine feminine's perspective on why is it so painful, you might not have to completely break down those belief structures the same as the masculine, but there's still a transformation process that the divine feminines have to go through as well. It can be about Sometimes that pain can come about because of needing you to realize that no, you're not going to walk away from this connection, because it's so hard, and people do try to give up, and they want to give up sometimes because it's such a difficult journey. So part of it is showing you, no, this is your path and you're not going to choose a different one. So it forces you to continue down the road a little bit. It forces you to open your eyes to certain things. It forces you to learn certain lessons. It's hard for me to specify what those lessons are because it kind of depends on each person. Each person has different things that they need to learn and heal. So I can't really say what it is exactly on the divine feminine side. Like, it's each individual journey. You know, one person may have a different set of lessons that they have to learn versus another. But it does usually go back to inner child wounds, self-worth issues, all those types of things. I have also seen that sometimes, and I'm probably one of the few people talking about this, and I talk about it because it's part of my journey. And I am 100% sure now, after the clients that have come to me, that Spirit is 100% using me to help people in similar situations, to help them see what's going on and to help them figure out how to fix it. And what that is about, let me start a fresh one because it's going to end on me in a second. So what I'm talking about is spiritual obstacles that are intentionally put in your way, because twin flames are an integral part of the ascension process that Earth and humanity are going through right now, because twin flames teach humanity about unconditional love, and they raise the vibration of the planet as you shift into functioning from unconditional love and forgiveness and acceptance and coming into union. So there are dark forces, evil forces in the world who are trying to prevent twin flames from coming together, and twin flames are under attack. And sometimes dark spirits are using karmic partners to cause more problems and to create more separation. And when that is happening, these karmic partners can be using black magic, voodoo, santeria, hoodoo, all sorts of different types of root work. I've heard of a variety now, and they are much more effective than what you think that they are. My twin flame and I were attacked by a satanic witch to try to keep us apart. And I had to go through a very intense 3-year war of breaking down everything she did to him and us and removing spirits. I had a poltergeist in my house, okay? I have dealt with a lot, and I am a full-on spiritual warrior. Part of my purpose is battling these things and destroying them, and now helping others figure this out and do the same. And there are people who believe, there are readers and guides who believe that you can just vibrate above that and it won't affect you. Wrong. 100% wrong. I can tell you for a fact. Okay, actually, maybe there's a 0.1% chance, and 0.1% because the only way you can do that is if you can ascend and be and function 100% in 5D. That's the only way that you can do it. 99.9% of people can't do that, okay? So the vast majority of the world and of twin flames, they cannot vibrate at 5D on their own 100% of the time, and therefore not be affected by black magic and evil spirits, which are all 100% real, just so you know. I have seen and interacted with them myself. I can tell you for sure. I work with people who have done exorcisms. They're real, okay? And black magic, very real, very effective, and extremely popular. Search YouTube and Instagram and you will find tons. And there's probably many of you who are doing spells to try to help your twin flames. As long as you're not going against free will, you're good, okay? But anyway, the point of why I bring this up is that I know that Spirit is using me to help others in similar situations. And one of the things that I've noticed and learned is that sometimes that intense pain is... So for example, I was in such an immense amount of pain trying to figure out why I was stuck in a holding pattern and why my twin and I couldn't come together, even though we were trying to come together, to the point where I was thinking about how I was going to kill myself because I didn't know what to do anymore. And that is why I finally sought the help that I needed to figure out about the black magic and the spirits and everything that I needed to dismantle. So for me, that my experience was that pain brought me to where I needed to be in order to discover the truth of what was really going on. And I think that I've observed that in some clients as well, that they go through something similar, the immense amount of pain that brings them to looking for answers. So that's another reason. I do want to say that I don't think that that's always the case for the pain, because the pain is pretty universal for all. And I don't think that the black magic and spirits and crap is universal for all. But I do think that it's more people than what people realize. I do think that it happens more than people realize for a couple reasons. One being that witchcraft is extremely popular, much more than what people realize. And also entities, which is the kind of most commonly used name for dark spirits in the spiritual community. Entities are also extremely common as well, and people don't realize that they're everywhere. Where there's trauma, there's entities, and they are feeding off of your fear energy and your pain, and they're making it worse for their gain. And also, and also to perpetuate darkness and pain and misery in the world overall. And that's just a fact. The world has been in a battle between good and evil for centuries, probably millennia. And honestly, because Earth and humanity is going through ascension right now, that war is coming to a head, and it's in the process of being taken down. I don't talk about ascension because not everybody understands it or knows what's going on. I know what's going on. I just don't talk about it because my channel is about twin flames. It's not about ascension. But if you want to talk to me about ascension, I can talk to you about that. Okay. But yeah, that between good and evil is coming to a head. And that's why darkness is fighting so hard and causing problems for twin flames. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that road. The point is about the pain. So that is one potential reason. And entities and witchcraft are all much more prevalent than what people realize. One more thing about that is that you can require help to fix those things. It is possible to be done on your own, but you have to be fully in awareness of your own gifts and power and know how to use it, and not be doubting yourself at all. And if you are, get help, because you could not be able to do it yourself yet. Or many times protections need to be put to make sure that what you're doing can't be broken. So like basically you breaking it can't be reversed kind of thing. So anyway, because there are crazy people like my insane karmic partner, my twin's karmic partner, who will just keep doing things nonstop, and then they could break whatever you do and just keep making it worse. So you might need help, and that's okay. Okay. It is okay to need help. Just know that, there's a lot of people that don't believe in psychics and don't believe in getting help for those types of things because they think that everyone's a scammer. Not everybody's a scammer. There are scammers, and I have been saving a post about this because I didn't want it to be mixed in with a bunch of other posts. I actually have a client who was scammed by 2 major twin flame accounts. One of them has like 220,000 followers. They don't seem to post about doing spells. They just post about twin flame information, but they scammed her out of a lot of money. So I'm going to post those accounts for you guys, and you need to protect yourselves because there are scammers out there. But there are also good individuals, good spiritual workers and light workers who are here to help others, and your spirit guides will guide you to those people to help you properly. That's something I can help you with too, okay? Okay, but anyway, enough of that, because I don't want to scare you guys, but I do want you to understand what is possible. And so sometimes it may be that you need to make sure that there's nothing else going on. And if me talking about this at all resonates with you, at all makes you feel like, should I make sure, okay? Because you want to know for certain that that's not an issue. That is something that can delay things for a long time. And you guys will just be constantly trying to come together and not quite being able to. And it can feel like a never-ending merry-go-round. I have been there. But that being said, it's not always the case. I'm not really sure what the percentage is because it's not well known or well talked about. So I'm not sure. But anyway, as far as the pain goes, as I said, the pain serves a purpose. And your job, when you're feeling that immense, deep pain over the connection, your job is to do the shadow work and figure out why. Okay, figure out what is it. When you're triggered, figure out what it is that's triggering you. What is causing you to feel this pain? And you got to trace it back to source. It's not just about the twin flame journey. It goes back to childhood. It might even go back to past lives, but you got to trace it back down to its origin. And that's what you have to figure out. What is causing this, and what is it that you need to heal? Is it a self-worth wound? Is it an insecurity of some type? Is it a mother wound? Is it a father wound? What is it? What is the fear, and what is the fear based around? Is it an abandonment wound or a commitment wound? Trace it back to what it is, and that's what you need to focus on healing. And you can, there are various ways that you can work on healing these things. You can go to therapy for some of it. You can get spiritual healing. There's a variety of modalities. Reiki is the most common, or Reiki. I never know how to pronounce that, even though I do it. There's similar types of energy healing, and there's a variety of other ones. Some I haven't even heard of, like I hadn't heard of IET until a friend in the past year, but it was very effective for her. Gosh, I can't think right now, but there's a variety of different healing methods, with the most common being IET. Hypnotherapy is a good one and very effective. That's what you need to do, is you need to figure out where the pain is coming from. The pain is not coming from this connection. The pain is just highlighting what it is that you need to heal. So, and actually, not just highlighting what you need to heal, but I'm going to get cut off again. Hold on. The funny thing is that I'm going to save this and post it like on my vlog, or possibly if it's not too long, on the Instagram stories, whatever. Not stories, but I can't remember what it's called. The Instagram videos. And it's going to have these pauses where I'm like, hold on, I'm getting cut off. Oh, well, you guys understand. So my point was that the pain is not about the twin flame connection or your partner. It's about exposing for you what it is deep down inside that you need to heal, so that you can reach that place of surrender, so that you can start vibrating higher, so that you can function from blind faith in the journey and in your twin and in this amazing love, and so that you can function from more closer to 5D instead of 3D. Because that is just a mentality. That's a way of thinking. Over the years of learning of developing my spiritual gifts and spiritual understanding, I have naturally trained myself how to function from an intuitive space. So I don't let logic lead. I don't let the brain lead. I don't let the heart lead. I let the intuition lead. And I function from either 4D or 5D. It kind of goes back and forth. And occasionally 3D if I get triggered, which I get triggered still too, okay? But what I'm explaining to you, of the process of healing all these things, all of these wounds that the pain is exposing, that is going to help you shift from functioning from 3D to functioning from 4D, and then getting closer to 5D. You have to be pretty advanced to function from 5D 100% of the time, okay? And that is helping you to surrender and to know that this journey is going to come together, and you are going to come together into union, okay? And that's when you will feel better. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should say about that. I think that that's most everything, but I do want to add that twin flames mirror each other. So where you're functioning from is how your twin is feeling and functioning from as well. That's why we say how important it is for you to shift how you're thinking and try to control how you're feeling. And how you control how you're feeling is by, instead of focusing on the pain and projecting it at your twin, focus on, where is the pain coming from? How do I heal it? So when you're functioning from that fear and that pain, so is your twin, and they're also struggling to move forward. When you can focus on healing and you can shift forward in those positive ways of how you're thinking and handling things, that helps your twin do the same thing and start to see things from the bigger picture and seeing what they need to do and work on themselves and move down that process as well, okay? So you're basically creating an energetic foundation for your twin by focusing on the healing work that you need to do instead of focusing on the pain and the fear and the worries and all of that stuff, okay? So that is giving your twin a stronger foundation of energy in order to create the changes in their own lives as well and have the courage to make those changes. It's all about creating inner peace and union and healing and transformation within yourselves. And once you guys do that individually, then you will be able to make it happen externally in the 3D in your relationship and bring you two together. That's why everybody talks about inner union and then outer union, okay? And that is why the separations happen, because you can't go through this immense transformation while you're together. If you tried to do this while being together, the relationship itself would get in the way because you guys wouldn't be healed yet. You wouldn't be transformed yet. So you both would have bad behaviors, triggers, all sorts of things from just your whole lives, the influence of your whole lives and those wounds that would be getting in the way and causing the relationship to be unhealthy. Plus, twin flames, like if you think about it, twin flames are two halves of the same whole, same soul, which is also the same whole. And that means that you're also in some ways opposites. So the ways that you're opposites will cause conflict. And before you're healed and transformed and able to handle that, it'll get in the way. So the separation is also needed because you can't go through that deep level of transformation while in the relationship. You have to be separate and dealing with the rest of your lives, sorting that. I might have gotten cut off at the end there. I said, so hopefully that all makes sense. So like I was saying before, I think I've covered most everything. If I think of something else, I'll let you know. If you have any questions about anything that I said, feel free to contact me. I am going to save this and upload it on YouTube as well so that we can find it easily for anybody who has these questions so we can revisit it. Yeah, like I said, I think I covered everything. Hopefully you guys understand now a little bit better why you feel that immense pain and the purpose that it serves. But know that as you go along on your journey and as you're taking the steps that you need to take for yourself, and as you're surrendering, it will get easier and it won't feel so painful or hard anymore. Okay, I can promise you that. So anyway, let me know if there's anything else you guys want to hear about it. Okay.